What's going on, guys? It's Connor from M Creek Renovations, and today I'm reframing this door behind me. It got caught up in the house fire, and there's areas that are charred and burnt that needs to be removed. And I need to go ahead and reframe the door so that way we can seal off the house for the winter time. It's a cold winter day, as you can tell by the sweatshirt and insulated pants that I'm wearing. And that means I need to block this garage off to keep the cold weather from freezing the pipes inside the house. So I wanted to tackle this door that had some rough framing issues that had been damaged from the fire about a year and a half ago. Using my Sawzall, I was able to cut the studs in half and pry the 1/2-inch plywood from the back. If you're interested in the tools that I needed for this job, I'll leave all the affiliate links in the description below. Here's a look after all the framing's been removed. Now that all the damaged framing from the exterior door has been removed, we can go ahead and create a nice flush base for where that door is going to sit on. I went to Home Depot and bought some mortar mix. I'm going to go ahead and fill this all in, make sure it's nice and level. Then I'm going to put a piece of pressure treated 2x4 on top, concrete anchor down to the ground, and that's what's going to sit on the door. And then frame all around. But let's go ahead and knock this out. I used around 1/4 of the bag of mortar mix to repair the threshold of this door opening. The consistency you're looking for when mixing the mortar is almost like cake batter. I took a piece of leftover 2x4 and placed it on the back of the threshold to give the step some shape when adding the mortar. I used a trowel to add in the mortar to all the cracks and crevices of the door opening. The key to repairing the threshold is to make sure the area is as level as possible with a slight slope for any water to run off. I grabbed another old piece of 2x4 to set my level on it so it wouldn't get dirty. Now that the base is level, I removed the backing and rounded over the edges. Give the mortar about 24 hours to completely set up, and the threshold is complete. Now time to tackle this area of plywood that was charred behind the removed studs. There was a hole measuring 2 inches wide and it spans around 10 inches long. Instead of replacing this small piece of plywood, I decided to patch it with flashing and exterior glue. The glue will help keep the flashing in place and it will sit behind the studs and seal out any future weather damage. Now that the flashing is installed tight on the plywood, we're ready to frame for the exterior door. After cutting and measuring the 2x4s of the proper length, I started to install the framing exactly how it was laid out before, and made sure the rough opening measurements will fit to the new door. And with a snap of the fingers, we're all done with the framing. Here's a close-up of where the new door will be installed. For the final step, it's now time to install the exterior door into the opening. The trim on the outside of the door had to be removed because the door would not fit flush because of the brick on the outside of the house. One important factor before installing your door is the rough opening measurements. A rough opening is the proper size needed of the length and width of the frame door opening to accept the new door. For example, the rough opening for this 32-inch wide door needed to be anywhere from 33 3/4 of an inch to 35 inches wide and 81.5 inches to 83 inches tall. For this install, the height was not an issue because I needed to build it down with brick. But for the width, I added 4 2x4 pieces of wood to the doorknob side, and that gave about a 1/2-inch clearance around the door frame. I was finally happy with the door spacing, and I added exterior Loctite to the threshold to provide extra support to the base. This would be the last time I needed to pre-fit the door after about 5 trips. My back was killing me. Make sure to break out your level throughout this process and triple check the alignment of the door. Now time to get the drills and screws ready. Remember to always start on the hinge side of the door first. With shims in one hand and a level in the other, start positioning the door where it needs to be inside the framed opening. Now that the door is secure on the hinge side, take the plastic stopper out of the doorknob and slowly open the door. On each hinge, there should be 1 screw missing on the framing. With a 3-inch screw provided, drill the screw into the empty hole starting at the top of the door and work your way down to all 3 hinges. Once the hinge side of the door is screwed down and level, you're going to do the same thing on the latch side of the door. By peeling back the weather stripping on the latch side, you're going to drill a screw on each of the 2x4 blocks. At the same time, you will be constantly opening and closing the door and making sure that the door properly closes all the way. If you're having an issue with the door binding, check on the hinges. On the pre-hung door, the craftsmanship is usually pretty bad, so you may need to tighten up all the set screws on the hinges. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe for more content. Thanks. Alright guys, there you have it. Just installed this exterior door in our garage. So far in this video, we've reframed all the exterior areas that was burned up from the fire. Used mortar mix for the threshold and installed an exterior door that'll open and close. I gotta add the knob, weatherproof everything. Up next are the 2 windows on the other side of the garage. I'm gonna show you guys how to install those. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos, and thanks for watching.